Hello, my name's Sammy, aka Four String Boy, and this is the Flight Navigator Baritone. Hello, and a big welcome back after the festive break. I spent my holidays with a couple of new releases from Flight Ukulele. One being this lovely lady, the Flight Navigator Baritone, and the other one being an 8-string monster called the Iris 8 tenor. I have had a little play around with both over the holidays, and I have released a little video on the Iris just playing it through, but expect a nice review on that to come very soon. Anyways, back to the Navigator. The Navigator comes in both a tenor and a baritone size. I may have asked for the tenor size and received a baritone. But I'm very grateful for Flight for sending it over. If you already know me, you know that I'm a massive baritone player, and to be honest, the more publicity baritone ukuleles are getting, the better. I've already got quite a few reviews of our baritone ukuleles on here, so what is one more to add to this beautiful, fiery looking girl? So now I've spent the holidays getting to know this kid, let's talk about the specs, the design, and most importantly, how she sounds. Okay, so the Flight Navigator Baritone will set you back €565, or I've seen it for 499 Great British pounds. It has a solid flamed maple top, solid rosewood body in a wonderful gloss finish. Now, it's got to be said that I'm actually a massive fan of rosewood bodies on a baritone. It kind of gives it a nice projection and warmth, which I think you kind of want with a bigger instrument. Both the baritones I own, the Aurora and the 4S BB, both have rosewood bodies in this gloss finish. And actually, rosewood is just a really, really, really nice wood just to look at in its kind of natural state. So I think not touching the rosewood, having a pure gloss finish complements it wonderfully. And if you're wondering what a flamed maple top would do to the sound, in my experience with maple ukuleles, it kind of gives it kind of a glass, almost transparent sound to it. So it doesn't really add like a unique character like spruce or cedarwood. It kind of just, like I said, emphasizes what's already there and gives this crystal clear tone. Really easy to miss is a beveled armrest just under the top. And now people always talk about how much they love armrests, but in all honesty, I don't really notice when they're there or when they're not. Now, feel free to shout at me about that if you disagree. It's totally fine. But whenever I play, I have the Fireball and the Comet, who both have the armrests, as does the A10. And then I have a Nighthawk and the 4SB that both don't have the armrests. And in all honesty, playing between the pair of them, going between each of the ukuleles, I never really notice a difference. So if you're into armrests, it's got one. If you don't care, it don't matter. We have a rosewood pin bridge and fretboard. The neck is also made of African mahogany with a nice satin finish. We have the standard 19 frets and a 38mm nut. We also have the usual rear-facing open gear tuners in black and gold. That's on that lovely modern Flight headstock, and that basically is got a slab of flamed maple in the same stain on top of it as well. We do get a pickup with this model. It's the standard double C1U that's found in all Flight models. I've talked about it before. It's a great pickup. It does the job. Sounds great. And as always, we come with this standard red Flight padded gig bag. Okay, them's all the facts. So now let's talk about the more subjective parts, which is the design, just because I like nattering about it. Okay, so first of all, it's a Flight baritone. All the Flight baritones have pretty much exactly the same body shape, which I'm a massive, massive fan of. Big bum, big sound. Love it. Now, we do have a black cutaway that runs into the black binding around the uke, and that also runs into that black beveled armrest. And like I said, because it's black and then you've got this kind of dark stain around the side of it, it's really easy to miss. All of this then matches with a black maple sound hole ring thingy, and I really appreciate it when we've got all these little touches of uniform, so thank you for doing it, and thank you for doing it in black. Now, the flamed maple is a real nice touch. It kind of shimmers the more you kind of move them. It is a magical kind of top. I have a Flight A10 FM, and the FM for that stands for flamed maple, and often I'll just pick up the uke and just look at it and go, ooh, for about 10 minutes before I actually do 30 seconds of practicing and then put it down. But one of the things I do find with the stained flame maple tops is that basically each ukulele is going to look completely different. So they really do come in a variety of colors. And when I say that, you'll all be like, well, Sammy, it's one color, isn't it? It's just this kind of fiery color. But actually, if you look at them all lined up next to each other, very similar to mango, they will look very, very, very different. So again, if we have a look at the example that I've been sent and we have a look at the top, it goes really dark towards the top, and then you have kind of that fiery burst around the bridge area. That's kind of where we have it. And then whilst I was doing my usual 3 or 4 hours scrolling on the Southern Ukulele Store website, I found what I consider the absolutely perfect example on there. This thing looks like it's on fire. Look at it. That for me is the ultimate wow. Look how different that looks compared to the model that I received. Now, the reason I bring that up is because from a distance, right, this ukulele can actually look quite black near the top, but if we really look at it, it's not black at all. It is basically it's kind of autumnal. It has that autumn colors here. If you imagine the color of the leaves in autumn, sorry for Americans, fall, then that's exactly the tones and hues of this ukulele. And so to carry on with that theme, if only we could have had little leaves as fret markers instead for my ultimate cinnamon autumn ukulele. Hello, Editing Sammy here. I just wanted to pop in quickly and just say that even though actually, I'll be fully honest, I'm not a fan of sunburst or tobacco sunburst or anything like that. Never have been on guitars or basses, etc. The more time I've spent with this, especially like filming the B-roll, then actually I've really started to like it. Like I said, the autumnal colors come out way more than actually it looks black. I think from a distance it looks like a real dark finish, but once you got it up close and especially under some light and cameras, it really comes out. It's a really nice flame maple top. But I don't think I made that very obvious, so just wanted to pop in and say that. Now, thankfully, we do also get this matching headstock that is, again, has a slab of flamed maple and is stained in the exact same colors. I'm such a sucker for matching headstock and body combo. I think it just complements the entire uke and it makes it look like the design was really thought about. And if you really think about it, the headstock is just as important as the body. Okay, it's when we're watching people play, often the two things that are going to catch is either the body or the headstock. And also the important thing about the headstock is that's where your company logo lives, mate. So you want to make a nice, attractive headstock to match your body. Our bridge pins also have a hint of pearl in them. If you have a look at them, we've got black and then these bits of basically pearl at the very top. In all honesty, I think they would have looked better with solid black bridge pins that we see often across flights, or even better, it would have been orange bridge pins. Now, I know these exist because I've seen them. So basically, you can get the Fireball bridge pins, which are red, but in orange instead. And I think on this ukulele would have just highlighted that top even more. And back to the flame maple goddess that we talked about earlier. This is my Flight A10 FM. Now, these come with red bridge pins, but I replaced them to basically have blue bridge pins instead. And I think just that little tiny thing, just matching the colors up and basically having the bridge pins highlight the body, gives the entire ukulele a much more premium look, right? Bridge pins cost nothing. So just that little tweak for me makes it a much, much, much nicer looking ukulele. So orange bridge pins, mate. Chef's kiss. So let's talk about the strings. Now, the strings that you're going to get on the Flight Navigator are the same strings that you'll get on any Flight ukulele, okay? The Diodario set that I have mentioned my dislike for many, many times in these videos. Strings are a real subjective thing, so you might like them, but for me, black nylon is a no-no. I'm more of a fluorocarbon boy, and I think a different set of strings really can change the entire sound of the ukulele. And so because of that, my strings of choice on all my baritones are Uke Logic Hard Tension, and then for the two wound strings, I use the Gold Smooth Wound D and G. In my opinion, I've never heard a nicer set of baritone strings than these, and no matter what the baritone, basically, as soon as those strings go on, I think it sounds 100 times better. But like I said, when it comes to strings, it's a subjective thing, okay? So you might absolutely adore them. For me, I need something with a higher tension and basically a bigger output, and that's the Uke Logics. Now, just before we go listen to how this Navigator sounds, I'd like to tell you about my brand new Fingerstyle baritone course that's kicking off in February. It's a 5-week course that introduces you to how I play fingerstyle on the baritone, and we start from the real beginnings, such as hand placement and tone, and then we work our way through the multiple styles of fingerstyle that I use before at the end combining it all together so that then you can see how it all comes together and how you can be a happy fingerstyle player. The course is split over these 5 weeks if you want to join me live on Zoom. If you don't want to join me live, if you can't join me live, or if you're watching this video sometime in the future and robots haven't taken over, then the course is fully recorded and anybody who participates will get each class recording to keep forever. So whether you make it live or whether you don't, you'll get the video recording and then you can basically work through it at your own pace in your own time. The reason I sit here and tell you about this is because I am a full-time music teacher. It is literally my job. I don't get sponsored, I don't get paid to make these videos, so it is literally teaching is how I make a living. And so if you are interested in basically getting better on your ukulele, then showing me some love is very much appreciated. Full details can be found via the link that appears somewhere here, and I'll also drop it in the pinned comment down below. Okay, right, Flight Navigator sound samples, let's go. So now you've got to have a listen. Let me know what you think. What do you think of the sound of the Flight Navigator Baritone? Like I said, for me, the combination of the rosewood and the maple, like I said, it's got much more crystal. Again, I keep talking about the crystal clear, but it really has like a crystal clear tone that I didn't expect. I expected this to be darker sounding, I guess. And I think that's just because of, again, I'm being confused by how it looks. It looks autumnal. I think it should sound autumnal. But no, the maple sound gives it, like I said, quite a kind of glass-like sound to it. And so there's a lot of treble there. Yeah, if that's what you're after, then this is for you. Now, comparing it to the rest of the Flight baritones used to be an easy affair, but over the holidays, Flight decided, fuck it, and released lots and lots of baritones, which is very, very, very good because now we have all the options that you can possibly think of from all different price ranges. That's very good. Bad thing is it makes comparing it all a little bit harder work. Okay, so I can only basically compare and give my thoughts on what I've played, and that's about it. So I do recommend checking out the whole kind of plethora of the Flight baritone ukuleles. The proper top end that we have is the Flight Fireball. That definitely sits at the top end. And the lowest end that we have is the beginner's kind of almost like introduction to baritone ukuleles is the Flight Iris. That's a great ukulele. I have a review on that. And the Flight Caribou Lights. They're also fantastic too. All the others kind of sit in the middle, depending on wood qualities and whether we're solid wood versus laminate, etc. Like I said, go through, listen to some reviews, but also have a look at them. I know it sounds silly, but I'm quite a visual person, so I really, really, really have to love the thing that I'm looking at. Okay, I have to love to look at it as much as I like listening to it. That's very important to me. So just go through and have a look and yeah, check them out and see what they look like. But for the moment, the two baritones I do own are the Flight Aurora and the Flight 4SBB. Now, the Flight Aurora is around €375 with a solid spruce top and a laminate rosewood body, whereas the 4SBB is same specs, solid spruce top and a solid rosewood body. And this sits at the same price as the Navigator. The biggest difference between the two is the Navigator comes with a pickup, the 4SB does not. And so there we have it. Another beautiful addition from Flight. And remember, even if you're not a baritone player, there is a tenor model available. Okay, so go and check that out. And like I said, I really can't wait to get my hands on the tenor version as well. Any questions that you have about any of the ukuleles that you've seen today or any of Flight ukuleles, if you'd like me to review certain ones, please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to talk. I'm a big Flight ukulele nerd. If you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe, all the usual bullshit. It all helps in the long run, basically. And that's essentially it. If you like the stuff I'm making, please help me out. Thank you. Right, I'll see you next time for 8-string madness. Okay, bye.